What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay, and I am back to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac season 7 episode. Child, I don't remember but we gonna get into it. Sorry, I'm late, y'all. I've been trying to get this computer together. I don't know what's going on here, but let's get into it, shall we? Man.
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming with a force. Yes, blessing the reap and we coursing on.
All right, y'all. So let's get into it. Okay, let me find my. I thought I had made a. Not sisters. That's for later. I know I made one for Potomac, but I don't know where it went. But we just gonna keep it pushing. Hold on, y'all. Let me see, because I know I had this overlay. It don't want to be nice to me today, but that's all right. Anyway, this episode I feel like was a filler episode, so it took me a little minute to go on and record this here for y'all. But child, let's just talk about it because we got to, right? I am wearing my Trust Your Vision sweatshirt. One of my husband's best friends owns that business. So if you trust your vision, child, go on Google that and go on over to his website and snag you a sweatshirt. Okay. It's nice and cozy. But moving on. Potomac season 7, episode 10, cleaning up the mess. All right. In this episode, we see Karen is at her sauna in her home, which, child, I need a damn sauna in my house. If y'all ever go on Amazon, I have one of those saunas where you can put it anywhere in your house. It looks like a cloth thing. Like you sit in it and you can put your arms out and your head is out. It ain't nothing like what Miss Karen got going on. But if you can't afford what Karen got going on, you can get what I got going on. Okay, get you right on in. It's only like $200 on Amazon. Okay, and you get on in and get your little sweat sauna up in your house. But yeah, she doing things. She doing the things. Ashley TikToking. Child, I hope Ashley get paid for all the damn TikTok she doing and Karen on. Because child, I know they be paying you over there on the TikTok. Okay, Ashley. But Mia is talking. Then Mia is talking to Gordon about their new facility in DC. Okay, so Robyn and Giselle are talking about their Reasonably Shady podcast and, all of their accolades they've gotten rewards. They've gotten several downloads for their podcast and a million views and all this good stuff. So they want to take the show on the road and do it live. Okay. So they're sitting down talking about the planning with Carly, which is Robyn's personal assistant, and she's taking notes. And then once they talk about everything they need to talk about, child, Carly go on, dip on out and do what she got to do. So Giselle and Robyn are sitting there talking on a couch, and Giselle's like, well, I have the girls' party coming up this week. They don't want me to come because they hate me, which of course she's joking. And then Robyn begins to talk about having so much going on her plate. She needs to talk to Juan about the prenup. She thought she would have some downtime on the vacation to talk to her lawyer about the prenup so she can present it to Juan. And I'm like, girl, when you think you was going to have some downtime on this vacation? Your downtime was when you was being TMZ trying to record everything that Wendy was saying and carrying on and acting like a jack, you know what, okay? That was your downtime. You should have picked that time up and stopped being a jerk. And maybe you could have got your tail back to the house in time to set up an appointment to talk to your lawyer on the vacation of it all, okay? You ain't want to talk to no lawyer on no vacation, girl. You ain't getting married. Let's start there, okay? Moving on, Robyn, because you playing with us. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, okay? So then Giselle says, well, good luck with that, okay? Then Robyn talks about Wendy and Robyn having a moment in Miami in the club, and Robyn says, Wendy told her she loves her and cried about their situation. And, Giselle said, that was when Giselle says, good luck with that. I'm like, girl, why are you commissioning for them to be mad at each other. I really don't even get why Wendy and Robyn are really mad at each other. And Robyn can't really be that mad at her over Wendy making that one little comment last season when she was roasting the hell out of Giselle. Like, Robyn, you really got yourself caught in the crossfire trying to defend your raggedy friend in the midst of what was going on between her and Wendy, because you know that Giselle was sitting up there lying about that man cheating on her with somebody at his law firm. Like, she just kept, Giselle tried to act like she wasn't trying to bring it out there, but you kept trying to, in any way you could, bring it up that Eddie had a mistress. Girl, go sit down somewhere, please and thank you, Giselle. And Robyn, you just keep on trying to be the bodyguard of it, of you, if you will, and do all of this for Giselle, but Giselle is not going to do that for you, sis. And the day that you realize that will be the day that you will actually earn your keep on this show. Okay, moving on. So Giselle says, so then Robyn says she reached out to Candiace to talk because of the screaming match they had at the club. Leaving the club in the car, they were really upset with each other. And Giselle says Candiace can't be upset because she talked about them on Instagram Live. Now, ladies and gents, I took the liberty of finding said live that Candiace so-called talked about them, okay? So I'm going to play what Candiace actually said for you guys because I love you, okay? Y'all lying. Robyn, y'all gonna hear what she actually said, and once you hear what Candiace actually said, there is no way in hell that Robyn could have thought that Candiace was talking trash about them, okay? Let me go ahead. I'm going to come off camera. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and play this audio for y'all. We go to the first video.
Involved. And then it has the measurements on this side. And
let me know in the comments if y'all can hear it loud enough.
Lemon juice. And there is a water flavoring called Stur, STUR, that is all natural. That I mix in with my lemon juice and my water.
Okay, Candiace, we don't care.
And it's so good.
Okay, let me skip
those a day. I should be doing 2. Love and reality tea. But at this point, almost everybody is a double agent. None of these bitches are real. They're all fake. No one's loyal. Everyone's literally out for themselves and trying to panhandle their little businesses across town, across these United States that nobody gives a fuck about. Fuck these hoes. From the bottom of my heart. It's impossible to be friends with people who will literally say anything to try and elevate themselves and destroy you. Like, there's no line. Will literally make things up out of the clear blue sky because they are so lacking in activity. I was going to say personal story, but lacking in activity. You have such little to do, such little going on. Hi, Aubrey. I forgot to turn off the oven timer. I turned off the oven and not the oven timer. So now it's going to beep until I turn it off. I've never met Erica Jane in person. We've talked online, and I love her. She is super sweet and a baddie. She's a bad bitch. Hold on, I'm back.
All right, y'all. So I skipped ahead, and now she's talking about Robyn. And this is where Robyn didn't, I can tell she didn't listen to the whole live because now she's supporting Robyn's business. Let's keep listening.
Refresh. Now I would support. Well, I don't. Is Robyn's skincare line out yet? I will support that. Cause I support embellished Robyn's hats. I think her hats are bomb. I wear them all the time in real life. The concept for her hats is really dope. So I feel like her skincare line will do well. I will probably save this live, yes. Please. I'm confused by them. And that's what I'll say. I'm confused.
She was saying she was confused by the new people that they're trying to bring on the show. So this is
involved.
This is
it has the measurements on this side.
Hold on. This is another video that she did talking about
who is involved. And it has the measurements on this side.
Hold on. Did my phone lose some coverage? Here.
Sharice and I are good. Love Sharice. And do you... Most of these girls, fuck them. I take back all. Most.
See, she took back all.
Is it Friday? It's Friday.
Then she's going to talk about Giselle.
Do you have a trip planned? Any questions in the comments?
Let me see.
I wish she was white. That she wishes she was white. I think she just...
Somebody said Giselle wishes she was white.
That she can pass. Oh, for sure. This is a good question. Do you feel exploited? Do you feel like your vulnerable or volatile moments are used for ratings? Absolutely. Yeah. And it's only unfair and unbalanced because everyone does not emote. Everyone is not vulnerable. And some people are rewarded for doing nothing, for giving nothing emotionally, for just giving no real parts of themselves. They're rewarded for that. They are given more opportunities, they're paid more, and they contribute nothing emotionally. They're not exploited at all.
See, so there we go. So basically, Candiace, let me come back on screen. Candiace told us the real. She basically said that Giselle is not made to say anything about her life. Nobody ever exploits her. They don't allow them to exploit her. She's paid more. She's given more opportunities. And it's not fair. It's really not fair. So Robyn sat up there and played all of that BS on the tiniest speaker she could ever find and didn't play the right stuff. You sitting up here playing a bunch of BS, and you know that if she had to watch the entire live, she would have known that nothing that this girl said had anything to do with her. She was talking about Giselle. And she even said at the end, you know what? I take back all. When she said all of these girls are fake bitches, I guess she was just mad. So she was like, you know what? I take back all. I shouldn't have said that. Like, you know, maybe that was a little harsh, but she really is talking about Giselle. And probably Mia. Okay. So anyway, y'all, I had to let y'all hear that because I am just so tired of this whole recording and whatnot. And Candiace and said this and that and the third and whatever. And ain't nobody produced no daggone true evidence. And I had to go ahead and listen to that hour-long live for y'all so I can get that information so y'all can hear the truth. Okay. So moving on, Robyn and Giselle. They're okay. We already talked about that. And so that was the live. So we talked about the live because Giselle said Candiace can't be upset because she talked about them on the Instagram live. And correction, she did not talk about them. She was talking about you, Giselle. Okay. So moving on, Candiace and Chris are in the back thinking of how to set up for her party for her master's celebration. And Candiace is inviting Karen because she feels bad about running her mouth to Ashley. And a producer actually revealed to Candiace that she actually did say what she said she didn't say in Miami. Now, I don't know why Candiace thought that it was okay for her to go ahead and be talking about Karen to Ashley and didn't think that Ashley, the assassin, was not going to keep that in her back pocket and use it for a rainy day to roll over her with a bus and then back up and do it again. Like, I don't even understand why she thought that there was any room for her to be cordial with this girl. Ashley is going to do whatever she needs to do to be on this show and make her coins, okay? And that's that on that. Don't let the tears about being afraid to support herself after her and Michael are over fool you, all right? Because she going to make it do what it do, baby, no matter what, okay? So, and she also invited Robyn, and she told Chris that they're actually going to have a little talk. And Candiace tells Chris they go in the house, and she's sitting at one end of the counter, and Chris is cooking dinner. And Candiace is smiling, and she tells Chris that her period is late. And she's like, it hasn't come. She's looking for it, but it hasn't come. So Chris gets excited. He's like, you think you're pregnant? And she's like, well, we don't know. We'll see. And so he gets excited, goes and hugs her and like touching her belly and stuff. And Candiace is actually getting a little excited. And she's like, what if, we don't even need any of this treatment and like everything is working like it's supposed to. And so they get excited and embrace each other over the possibilities. Okay. So Karen has Matt over and they discuss doing a live show. Now, Karen, you're a little slickster, okay? Because you seem to have Matt around every time it's some drama surrounding you. You had him over with Ray in the tax situation. Now you got him coming back over. You had him around when the whole Blue Eyes situation was happening. Now you conveniently got him coming back around with this whole situation where Sharice is trying to uncover some foolishness upon you. I don't understand. Is he like a cleaner upper of your BS? Is he some magical PR? Is this Olivia Pope, the white man? Karen, is this your Olivia Pope? Because I feel like he's Olivia Pope, okay? More like Olivia Nope. But I feel like he's your Olivia Pope coming around cleaning up your things, okay? But all right, anyway, her and Matt sit down and they talk about the live show that Karen gonna be doing and whatnot. And he says, this is gonna be great. And Karen says, yeah, he's really Matt is very popular and successful. He's really creative. So, I have to have him come around and help me do this stuff. So Karen says she isn't copying Giselle. She's more inspired by Wendy Williams, who is her friend. Karen, Wendy Williams is not your friend, sis. Wendy Williams is not nobody's friend, okay? Actually, Wendy Williams need a friend right now, okay? Even her ex-husband, I'm sure, because he's been trying to dig back in her pockets, but we're going to have we're going to have another video talking about that, okay? But Wendy Williams is not your friend, sis. Okay. Let's just call a spade, Karen. You copy what other people are doing, but do it better. You were doing the candle like Miss Wendy, but you actually executed yours and promoted and you're doing well. Great. You were actually the first one to do your perfume. I give you that. There wasn't nobody else doing no perfumes and things. Okay. You did your perfume first, but then you copied the candle, and now you copying this live show format because we ain't never seen you wanting to be in the public eye doing the things. Okay, being a live talent, if you will. We've never seen you wanting to do that. So, Karen, I'm gonna need you to stop the bullshiggity. Okay, just go ahead and say, listen, I thought it was a great idea, and like, why not? If they can do it, anything they can do, I can do better. I would have appreciated her more if she actually had said that, because it's giving me bullshiggity. It's giving me the lies in my candy voice. Okay. But I'm gonna let you like it. I love it. I'm gonna let you go on with it now. So they talk about the format of what's going to go on. And she even brings up to Matt that the Green Eyed Bandits may think that she's copying them because they did tell her about their live show. And Matt says, well, there's just more of a podcast, and it's actually boring, I'm sure. So yours will be better. So they talk about this being a evening with the Grand Dame and friends, and they're going to have keeping it Karen segment with drag queens and things, and they'll have a pride kickoff and just all these bells and whistles kinds of things. Okay. So moving on, Wendy is picked up from the airport by Eddie, and she's calling Chicago. Karen, what's your name? Wendy. You ain't never heard nobody call Chicago. While you were there, did you hear anybody say Chicago? That is from America? Girl, stop trying to sound smarter than you are. Like, girl, no. Now you just sound dumb. And even Eddie was like, you saying Chicago like chicken. No, it's not. She's like, well, that's kind of like Al Capone, how the mobster said. He said, no, it's given dumb. Just no. You're just wrong. Just don't say that no more. It's Chicago, okay? Well, what else is going on? So then she talks about the speaking engagement that she did. She was the keynote speaker for something. And then she talks about how her birthday's coming up. She got all these things going on. And then her birthday celebration. Then she got surgery coming up. She got so many things on her plate, and she don't really have time to do everything, but she gonna make it work. And Eddie encourages her to change that and try to free up more of her time. Okay. So then we get to this fake ass scene with Candiace and Robyn, child. So Candiace and Robyn meet for lunch, and they discuss Robyn's hairstylist friend recently losing her sister and her brother-in-law in a bad car accident. Now, my condolences to Robyn and her friend. That is not anything to ever, ever, ever want to see anybody go through. But I'm going to go ahead and gather you real quick, Robyn, because what you're not about to do is use this as an excuse for you being a BIT. Okay, because you've been being a real BIEIEI to everybody on this show. Like, your period has been nonstop and your hormones are all over the states. I don't understand what's been going on with you. And now you expect everybody to have all of this sympathy, if you will, for you. You sitting down with Candiace, and somehow Candiace apologizing to you. I don't know why. Because from the recording that I just played, from the live that you said Candiace was talking crap about you, and she really wasn't, you owe her an apology. And if I was Candiace, I would have brought the live and I'd have played the parts where I big upped you, talk about your little raggedy hats, and how I even talked about your makeup line that you haven't even brought up yet on the show, okay? And how I was helping put it out there for you and talking about how I support you. And you come and bring the tiniest Bose speaker that you can find in Miami to come and trash me. I would have been sitting there waiting for my comeuppance and apologies from you through your grief. Let me pat you on the back real quick and help you with your tears from your friend, because I am sad about that. I'm very compassionate for people, but I'm not compassionate for bullshit. Okay, because you are full of bullshit. That's what you are. Okay. There was no need for Candiace to be apologizing to Robyn. at all. Candiace, why do you continue to, why are you and Wendy so pressed to be friends with these broads? Why? They continue to be the most disrespectful chicks known to man. And y'all all seem to be trying to continue to rally around them and find every way you can to kiss their buttholes. I don't get it. So Robyn apologizes for absolutely nothing. She actually validates her behavior by saying, I just didn't understand why you were being like that. Because me, because I'm such a great person, you see, I protected you. When it came to Giselle, I had your back. Even though Giselle is being a tyrant, coming after your husband and carrying on, and even, I should be a good friend and tell her that this is foolishness. Okay? That's what she should be saying she was doing. That's why she agreed with Candiace and Chris. But instead, she used that as an opportunity to make Candiace feel like somehow she should be happy that she was trying to be on her side. Because somehow Giselle must be, she's wrong or whatever, but I didn't have to be on your side. I didn't have to come to your aid, but I did. No, you need to always be on the side of right no matter what. I don't care what Giselle is doing. Please have your own mind, Robyn. I'm so sick and tired of her. Please give up your rent inside of Giselle's butthole. Like, you have taken residence inside of Giselle's ass for far too long. It's time to let it go. Just let it go. Okay? I'm so over it. But, they sitting up there crying together and carrying on, child, and they embracing each other. So whatever. Emma Crawford says, what's up, Emma? Emma says, if I was Candiace, I would not apologize to Robert at all. Gizzard Neck, Robert, and Crater Face, Bigfoot Lion Mike, they are snakes. They are mean girls and bullies. Yeah, and I'm just like, I just don't want this show to turn into some Real Housewives of Beverly Hills BS. Because that's what they do over there. And ain't nobody got time for that over here. Okay? I don't want to see that. So Candiace is like, so Robyn is like, I look at you like a little sister. I've always been supportive of you. And, I stood up for you with Giselle. And so I just couldn't believe you were acting like this. Blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. They hug and embrace and cry some more. Girl, bye. I ain't got time. Moving on. Mia and Gordon are at their little opening for their new facility in D.C. They own 14 centers. They manage and collect royalties from 8. Karen comes to the grand opening, asks about Mia's mom. Mia says her mama not coming. She doesn't even want to address the conversation. She cut the ribbon and move on. Child, girl, I don't give a damn. All right, moving on. Ashley goes to Uncle Lump's house, and she's in distress. So she has little Dylan with her, but I noticed she doesn't have Dean. So she sits down and talks to Uncle Lump and his wife, her aunt, and she's like saying her and Michael got into an argument that morning because Michael wanted to keep not Dylan. What's the other one's name? I just said Dean. He wanted to keep Dean and wanted her to take Dylan. So she's like, no, I want to take both of them, and he's like, no, I just got back from Vegas. I want to hang out with Dean or whatever. Because Michael like, listen, Dean potty trained. I ain't trying to be dealing with Dylan. Okay, so let you go on and take the baby. Because he's still on the teat and all that stuff, probably. I just, what? I want the big boy, so I ain't got to really do too much and things. So you go ahead and take the baby because I just got back. And I do want to spend a little time with my children. Not the one I got to do a whole lot with, you see. So, what's the name? Ashley all upset over that. And she's just like, I'm tired of arguing with him. Dean was even yelling and saying, stop yelling because he's tired of hearing us yelling. And I'm just like, you know what? I feel so bad for them kids because the kids should never be in the middle or seeing their parents yelling. Now, I think it's normal for people to argue in front of their children because the kids need to see some sort of reality, but probably not when they that young, when they can't really understand what's going on, So I did feel bad for Ashley in that moment. And so, the the aunt was like, it's time for you to start creating some separation from Michael. Like, you need to embrace the separation basically and move on with your life. And Ashley starts to cry and she's upset. And she's like, I'm just so afraid to do this alone. I'm so afraid to raise these children by myself and move on. And, my heart really goes out to Ashley, because at first I was like, girl, grow the hell up. You in your 30s. You need to learn how to pay bills on your own. You are a grown woman and you got 2 children. You need to figure it out, and people do it all the time. But then people got to stop with that mindset that just because other people struggle, we should make that the norm. Like, everybody should be okay with struggling. And yes, people may say Ashley is not going to struggle because she has money. But here's the thing. When you are used to having 2 parents in the household, which honestly, to be truthful, I don't really know how active Michael really is, because Michael seems to care more about humping and pumping on whatever he can get to that ain't moving than being a family man. Like, I don't even think Michael was all that thrilled about becoming a father again, because Michael has grown children. Michael is like, I've been there, done that. He wasn't even really trying to be having these 2 little babies. But now that they're here, I guess he's embraced it and he's doing, what he can with it. But at the same token, I don't think that Michael is like that active of a parent where he's there all the time, because he does have his businesses. And that's not an excuse, because people that run businesses take care of their children all the time without nannies. Okay. So I'm really having trouble understanding just how important Michael's, contribution to their parenting is, besides the financial piece. And my thing is, Ashley, you're going to get something from the divorce. You're going to be taken care of. And you also have your salary from Potomac. And as much as you over Uncle Lump's house, I'm pretty sure they're going to help you with the kids. And your mama always there for you. So I just feel like Ashley has daddy issues. Ashley is so hard on herself for not having her father in her life that she is, I feel like she is, what's the word I'm looking for? She's living that vicariously through her children. And she feels like if Michael is not in the home with the kids, then that's going to appear to be a lack of him being around, if you will. So I just really feel bad for Ashley, and I hope that she can find a way to get it together. LaMary Money Queen, hey, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining the chat. I don't think I've ever seen your name in here before, but thank you so much for joining us. She says 100. Yeah, I feel like my heart just goes out to Ashley. When you've been accustomed to something and you're married to somebody and you've been with them for 10 years or whatever the case may be, because they've been married for 10 years. Now you got children in the mix. Like, it's difficult. You're used to a certain way. You're used to not having to worry about paying the water bill, the light bill, the mortgage, the electric, and all this, that, and the third. You don't have to take care of that because you have the luxury of having somebody else to take care of that for you. And now that you're faced with, oh my God, yes, I have to be responsible, but it's not just me being responsible for myself. Now I have to be responsible for these 2 younger children. Yes, I'm rearing them, but like financially, I got to make sure I stay on my P's and Q's so I can take care of them. And that can be scary. But girl, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and pull your bush up by the bootstraps and get your life, because you do have family and you do have people around you that are there to support you, and leave your daddy issues behind. Get Michael to pay for some therapy for you and them children so that you can release yourself from your daddy issues, the fact that you didn't have your father around, okay? And make sure that Michael is around for them children. And quiet as it's kept, and I hate to say this, but let's just point out the obvious, okay? Michael old as hell. All right. So I don't know how much longer Michael gonna be around with all the Viagra's and things that he be doing in his extracurricular activities, allegedly. We hope that he don't do too much one day and have a Kevin Samuels situation if you catch my drift. All right. So yeah, Michael about 75 years old. girl, enjoy your time with him while you can, because you need to embrace being alone, because you was gonna be alone eventually, honey. Okay, I'm just saying that's what happens when you marry the old fogies. And that's that on. Let's move on. Ashley, dry them tears up, girl. You gonna be just fine. Okay, Uncle up and Auntie got you. Moving on. Candiace picks up her mom from the airport, and she says she has learned to pick her battles with her mom and manage her emotions where it comes to her. Okay. Basically, she got a toxic mama, like a lot of black women do. Unfortunately, our mamas are toxic. Some of them, overbearing. Some of them negative. Some of them positive. 100%. You got all different aspects. Okay, and verbal. Sometimes the verbal assassinations between a mother and a daughter can be very stressful. Let's just say that. Okay. So she's learned to navigate around that. And it's sad that we have to learn to cope with that in order to have a relationship with our mothers. Hopefully, this generation changes that. Instead of doing the same things that we saw our parents do, we do something different with our daughters. I hope. Anyway, because Candace's mother, she a little something going on there. I don't know if it's jealousy or I don't know. I think her mother's still in love with her daddy. That's what I think. I think she still want her daddy, and Candace remind her of the daddy, and that's her only link back to him, and she's jealous. That's what I think. So whatever. Moving on. So they're in the car, and she reveals to her mother that her period is late, and she's thinking that she may be pregnant, and she's being optimistic about it. And her mother is like, "Well, I hope if you pregnant, you decide y'all need to stop cussing so daggone much." And Candace is like, "Well, listen, the kids need to do as I say, not as I do." And I'm like, Candace, you're gonna learn when these kids grow up, they're gonna copy everything that you say, okay? And this whole do as I say, not as I do stuff, that's trash, because these kids learn so much more on the internet. So everything that you're doing, if you don't want your kids doing something, don't freaking do it. Because you can't be doing it every day and then tell them, "Oh, but it's okay when I do it. It's just not okay for you to do it." Kids do what they see everybody else doing. And especially their mamas and their daddies. Like, girl, okay, but you gonna see everything change. People always got a mindset until they actually had kids of their own. Moving on, Giselle had a party for Angel and Adore for their sweet 16 birthday party. It was super cute. She had like a little dinner for them. Ashley, Robyn, and Sharice came to the dinner. The girls looked absolutely amazing. I think that Giselle's kids are the best thing about her. Okay, they really, really are. So just Jamal Bryant actually arrives, and the girls look so unimpressed by their daddy being their child. They be giving him the cold shoulder. But I'm gonna say this, that Pastor Dickum down, he shows up for everything for his children. Okay, I'm gonna give him that. He finds time to preach them, dick them, and raise them. Okay, that's what he do. That's his life. Preach them, ladies, dick them, the ladies, and dick them, the ladies, preach them, the congregation, and raise them, the children. Okay, so yeah, he finds time to do everything he need to do in his life, and he's doing it very effectively. Okay, so they give a little speech, and they give a little speech, and Jamal says, "You guys are really good kids. You give us no problems, and I'm so glad we ain't have to get you out of jail." But Giselle gives the more heartfelt speech, and she's like, "I just really, you guys are what I never was when I was your age. Like, you're so confident, you're such good people, and you see the good in everybody around you, and that's just something that I never had. And for that, I'm so grateful for you. I just love you guys." And I just thought that was so cute. Like, Giselle really loves her girls, and that's one thing that I can say is a good part of her. And I love to see her with her kids. Emma Crawford says, "Yes, the party was beautiful." Yes, it surely was. I love the party. So moving on, where Candiace has her party and she's outside getting things set up, and there's a brown snake. And Mama Dorothy says, "Candiace, I thought Giselle wasn't coming." Now that was damn funny. Now I see where Candiace get all her shady ways from her daggone mama, because I knew she had to learn how to read people from some daggone way. Okay, so moving on. Candiace guests start arriving. Karen is amongst the first to arrive, her and Ray. And Candiace comes down. Child, she come down with this wig on. look like the wig was bigger than her body. She looked like Cousin It to me. Y'all know from the Adams family. Yeah, that was Cousin It's wig. That was his body she was wearing on her head, child. I don't know, but that wasn't the wig for you. Your body was too tiny for the wig, child. Your body was too tiny for the wig. I can't. So then Robyn arrives, really looking like a cookout. Like everybody else was kind of dressed up, and Robyn was just with her biker shorts on, like she had just left a damn Soul Cycle class with flip flops on. All right, Robyn. Hey, you here, girl? Hey, what's on? What's going on? Thanks for coming. So then Sharice and her daughter Skylar come in. I think Skylar is so pretty. I've always thought that Sharice's daughter Skylar was so pretty. I remember when she was in high school, when Sharice was on the show last, and Skylar was always so very articulate. That's what Sharice needs to show. She needs to show her family. Like, I think we would enjoy seeing her home and her children more. Like, you so busy trying to start all this drama with Karen to get back on the show. Get them to film at your house and show you and your kids and your new life dynamic after divorce. Like, that's more of what I would have liked to see. But anyway, who asking me, child? Nobody. Moving on. So the food looks absolutely delicious. Like, I would love to go in. I'm gonna go to the W so I can eat some of Chris's food, child, because that man looked like he can throw down. Okay. So Candiace's friends come. One of her friends, little family, comes with matching outfits on. And then Candiace reveals in her confessional that she actually took a pregnancy test that morning and it was negative, and she was actually disappointed. But she said, you know what? This is just time for us to reset, get back into our goals that we were previously talking about, and just move on and redirect our energies to our current goals. Okay. So Karen and Robyn and Ray are sitting together, and Karen uses this time to ask Robyn, girl, when you get married? What's the goings on? So Robyn says, well, we're actively planning, and it's just going to be a little small ceremony. It's just going to be so small that I'm not even going to be there, nor is Juan. But she told Karen that it's going to be the four of them and nobody's invited. Mainly you, Karen. You're not invited. Okay. So Karen is like, oh, so I'm not invited. Okay, whatever. So Karen says in her confessional, listen, just be honest with us. If y'all just gonna be shacking, that's fine. Just say that. Like, you ain't got to lie to us, Craig. Like, we all know your ass ain't getting married, girl. Okay. But you like it, I love it. Moving on. Okay. So Karen says, well, I'll go ahead and find my Ray because Wendy comes over. So Wendy sits down and she says she just wants to check in with Robyn and speaks about how a drunk heart speaks a sober mind and how she misses their friendship. Wendy, not you too. Not you coming over here and apologizing to this bird. What is wrong with you and Candiace? Why? Why are y'all apologizing to this? Okay. We're not groveling to Robyn. I cannot take it. Okay. So she says she misses their friendship. And then, of course, instead of Robyn embracing the moment, she says, well, why were you so comfortable having that conversation with me when nobody was there? And basically the group wasn't around. Well, Robyn, you seem to be hugging her back and crying and carrying on in the club too. Why was you so accepting of the conversation with her? Because Giselle wasn't there and the group wasn't around. That's what I would have asked her if I was Wendy. I'd have been like, well, Robyn, when everybody is around, you're always mean to me. But when nobody was around and we were in the club, and even right now, you're very accepting of the conversation that I'm having with you because nobody is around. So let's just say we both were stubborn and didn't want to have a conversation with each other. And now we're putting our big girl panties on. We both were going back and forth, being mean to each other for no reason. And let's just move the hell on. That's what they both should have said. Because Robyn, you really had no reason to be set up there bullying that girl, talking about you TMZ and how Wendy is always confrontational. And let's talk about how you kept on saying, oh, Wendy keeps wanting to change her body up. Like, what's going on? how you supposed to be her friend, but you kept on trying to do whatever you could to support this narrative that Giselle. Let me tell y'all something. They are full of shit. Because the only reason why they kept on talking about Wendy changing is because they wanted to use that as a tool to bring up the bullshit as far as them trying to say that Eddie was cheating on her. They was trying to say that Wendy was changing her body because she trying to look good for Eddie because he got some other chick. Now, Robyn, what if we talked about how you was always constantly changing your careers? Or how you was flipping houses. Now we don't hear about it no more. You was doing hats. Now we don't really see you talk about the hats no more. How you was talking about you ain't want to be with Juan, and now you want to be with them. And now it's dragging your feet on the wedding. Now you angry with everybody. Are you angry because he cheating and you found out? Will we be wrong to assume how you feel and things going on in your life? What does one have to do? What does one thing have to do with the other? So y'all were sitting up there assuming all this stuff about this girl, but she was still trying to kick the bobo and be friends with y'all. But y'all sitting up here trashing her behind her back. And all of y'all done got stuff done to yourselves. Why is nobody else being talked about? I don't get it. Karen just openly talked about her boobs getting done. Mia got she changed her body every 5 minutes and got lumps in her humps and don't know if it's cancerous or silicone. So why is it okay for y'all to get nipped and tucked, but soon as Wendy go do it and have a mommy makeover, like most women that have had children and breastfeed do, why is it such an issue? And y'all kept on talking about her body the first season that she was on there, talking about how she dressed and all this, that, and the third. And now everybody knows that you get that season 2 glow up. Come on now. Y'all really tried it. Y'all really, really did. But moving on, because Robyn pissed me off with that. She just tried to put it all on daggone Wendy. So Robyn says she feels like Wendy is less confrontational when everyone isn't around. Wendy says in that moment, she just didn't want what they had to be gone. She says, here I am apologizing and saying, I'm sorry, I hurt you. And I value our relationship enough to make it right. Okay. Robyn says, well, what do you need from me? I feel like you still need something from me. Okay. What y'all talking about? Robert, bad bodybuilder, not bad bodybuilder, child. I mean, you are all off the chain. LaMary Money Queen says, preach. Yes, because I'm just like, I'm so sick and tired of them with the double standards with Wendy and Candiace. I don't know what to do. So Wendy says, I'm apologizing and saying, I'm sorry, I hurt you, and I value our relationship enough to make it right. Robyn says, well, what do you need from me? And Wendy says she wants her to say she's sorry too. And Robyn says, I already did say I'm sorry, but okay, I'm sorry. I'm like, girl, and I would have said, what you saying sorry for? What you do? What you admitting to doing? Because Robyn just sitting up there saying she's sorry. She don't even know what she's saying sorry about, but because you're crazy to do, but don't nobody care, girl. I take a little sorry, moving on. So they hug or whatever, little fake stuff, and they go in the house because it's hot or whatever. So Robyn is talking to, so when y'all saw Robyn outside of the house talking to a young lady, her name is Steph the Hair Queen on Instagram. She is an amazing, phenomenal hairstylist. She's actually Candiace's hairstylist. Okay. I hope she ain't put that cousin it wig on Candiace, but I digress. But Robyn is outside talking to Steph, and Steph asked her about her hairdresser friend and says, please send her my love. I heard about what happened. How are you doing? And checking in on Robyn. And Robyn says, we're just taking it day by day. It's painful or whatever. So they talk about that. And then the next day show Candiace pulling Karen to the side and basically apologizing to her because her ass did say what she said, say that stuff to Ashley. She was up in Miami, up in her house being messy. Okay. And so she ends up apologizing to Karen, and Karen accepts. And Candiace says, I love you and Ray. I don't never want to do anything to hurt you. And Karen says, we've made some progress and she don't want to mess that up. So she accepts her apology and she can appreciate somebody that owns her stuff. And she's like, was Ashley over there being messy too? I know her little messy ass was being messy too. And Candiace says, yeah, girl, she was, whatever. But you go ahead and talk to her about that. So they kiss and make up and all is well and, whatever. So Candiace, what's her name? Karen asks, how is Candiace and Ashley anyway? And Candiace says they are not good, but it seems like the group is just disjointed anyway. And, that makes her upset, but they got to find a way to all come back together. So Chris and Ray are talking in the next scene, okay? And Ray brings his Uncle Ben ass over there to talk to Chris. And Chris is just listening and not really caring what Ray got to say. Larry Money says, I'm hollering. And McCrawford says Candiace should have apologized to Karen. Yeah, she should have. She know damn well she was wrong for what she done did. Okay. So Chris and Ray are talking, and he tells Ray he was just trying to get, he was just trying to get Giselle to understand Candiace's feelings. Okay. So that was what the whole conversation was about. He didn't do anything to make her uncomfortable or whatever. So he's just over Giselle and her BS, basically. So that's why none of them birds is at their house for this graduation celebration. So Ray comes out of his mouth and says, listen, just apologize to her. That's that old happy wife, happy life stuff. That's how you know Ray is old, because that's what old men do. They just be like, oh, happy wife, happy life. I'm just going to apologize so I can just move on, child. But Chris is like, no, I'm not apologizing to her ass because I didn't do nothing to her. I didn't do anything to make her uncomfortable. I ain't apologizing. I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to do it. Do it for the gram. I ain't going to do it. Do it for the gram. I ain't going to do it. Okay, Chris ain't doing it. Not at all. And he respectfully walked away from Ray and says, I got to go check on, the food or whatever, and check on Candiace and things. But I'm also going to check out of this conversation because I'm not checking for what you're talking about right now. Okay. So moving on, Candiace is in the house giving this heartfelt speech or whatever. And Chris is running around with an attitude. She gives accolades and, thanks her mama for being so amazing, for helping her to be the amazing woman she is. And Chris is outside cussing and fussing to anybody that'll listen about how he ain't going to apologize to Chris and he can't, to Giselle, and he don't understand why anybody would think that he would do such a thing, because that is ludicrous. Okay? It's ludicrous. But I agree with Chris, because I wouldn't apologize to her ass either. Because Giselle is the type of person that thinks that the stuff that she does is cute and that she can get away with it. And like we heard in Candiace's live, she's allowed to get away with all of this stuff and say whatever she wants about people. And it's okay. But it's not. She shouldn't be allowed to lie on people, because there are really people out here that people are disrespecting them. They are being harassed and all these different things. And you out here slandering this man's name like this, it's just not okay. It's not okay. I can't get over what you call her wig. Child, that is cousin Ed. He's sitting on her head. He came to the party too. He had to come to the party too. He got an invitation. Giselle didn't get an invitation, but cousin Ed, he got the invitation. That wig was swallowing up her little body, child. That was the wrong choice. Okay, she should not have worn that wig. All right. But y'all know I'm crazy. LaMary Money Queen says, I agree with Chris though. Yeah, I agree with him too. Because that's just uncalled for. It really is uncalled for what Giselle is doing. And I really hope that they hold her feet to the fire at this reunion, just like they did Monique. Like, I'm just like, why hasn't anybody held Mia accountable for throwing drinks in Wendy's face and hitting her with her purse? Why hasn't anybody done that? Why y'all ain't got bodyguards around Mia? Y'all still going to her events and supporting her and all this, that, and the third. All of y'all are full of BS. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got. I ain't got no more. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please, please, please watch Thursday, I have a new segment that's starting called "So I Asked My Husband." My husband's going to join me on my broadcast on my show here. We're going to talk about some different things that have happened in all of the shows, and just get another opinion, a heterosexual male's opinion, which I'm interested to see what he has to say. Okay, but y'all, it's going to be really funny. I'm really proud of it. I think it's going to be real cool, and you get to see another part of me, which in my family, which is my hubby, okay? Because I love him. All right. So y'all join me for that. In the beginning of the video, we call it Always White Front to Back Podcast, because that's what our old podcast used to be called. But then after we filmed it, we were like, that don't fit for this. It's going to be called So I Asked My Husband. So that's what it's titled. But look out for that. That's coming out on Thursday night. Hit that notification bell and join us and watch the show. Okay. All right, y'all. I ain't got nothing else to say. Thank y'all for watching. I'll be back on to talk about sisters if y'all want to pop back on and chat with your girl again. Until then, peace out.